Welcome back. In this video, we will take a look at another example of a code using if elif. The same problem was discussed earlier, and it was implemented using nested if else. Now we're going to implement the same problem using just if elif. And the problem here is, as you see, we are going to ask the user to enter the base cost of a flight and calculate the sales tax based on whether the seat class is first class, business class, economy, premium, or economy. So what you are asking from the user is the cost of the flight and the class of the seat, right? Two things. You're collecting these two things from the user, and you're going to calculate the sales tax or GST based on one of these criteria. If the seat class is first class, you calculate the tax at 28%. If it's a business class, 18%, economy premium, 10% economy, 5%. And if the user types a class other than any one of these valid class, then you display the message like invalid class. And at the very end, you calculate the base fare, tax, and the total fare. So here is, as we always suggest, you start writing the program, especially if you're a beginning programmer, study the problem description and try to break down the solution into simple instruction in plain English. Write down the steps or instructions in plain English. And let's take a look at how does this look like. So you need to collect the flight cost, the base flight cost, and then you need to ask the user to enter the seat class. Once you collect these two pieces of information, the first condition here is check to see if it is a first class. So if it is not the first class, then in the next condition, you check to see if it is a business. If it is not a business, in the next condition, you check to see if it is economy premium. If not, move on to the next condition, check to see if it is economy. So if it is not any one of these four conditions, then you display the default message invalid class. And at the bottom, you display all of this base fare, tax, and total fare. So let's take a look at the programs to see how it looks. Here is a program. And as we said, this is the instructions in plain English, also called pseudocode. Then we're going to convert each one of these instructions into Python code. So I converted the top two instructions here into Python code over here, the base cost and the seat class. And then I'm going to implement this using if elif. So this is the if elif. So you're collecting the base cost, seat class, and in the first if condition here, you're checking to see if it is first class. In the next if elif, you're checking to see if it's a business. In the third, you're checking to see if it's economy premium. In the fourth, you're checking to see economy. If none of these conditions are true, then you display this message. So at the bottom, you display the base cost, you display the sales tax, and then you calculate the total fare as a base cost plus sales tax, and then you display the total fare. And as you know, the way the if-else condition is that when one of the condition is true, the computer executes the body of that condition and then skips the remaining conditions. Let's suppose the first condition is not true, second condition is true. So if the second condition is true, then the computer executes this line and then right away jumps on to that line. So we will run this program. Okay, the debugging is not set. Set the debugging on. It's asking for the base flight cost, right? Let's say 1,500. Now it's asking for the flight class. I say first class. Now the seat class is first class, and you're comparing to see if it is a first class. So remember, this is now, it is a text variable or a string variable. You're comparing that with a string constant. And don't forget, anytime you want to compare something, you have to use equal sign. If you want to compare if it is equals, then you have to use two equal sign. So in this first condition, is it a first class? Yes. Now you see, it's going to calculate the sales tax at a base cost times 0.28. So now your sales tax is $420. And see, it jumped all the way to once it executed line number 5, it jumped all the way to this bottom. It got out of the if-elif conditions. Okay, let's try one more time. So this time I'm going to type economy. So if I type the economy, what it's going to do, it's going to check the first one. It's going to be false. It's going to check the second condition. It's going to be false. It's going to check the third condition. That's going to be false. It's going to check the fourth condition. The fourth condition is going to be true. It's going to execute this, and then right away it jumps over here. So I'm going to run one more time. Let's say $1,000, and I'm going to type economy. So put a breakpoint there. So first condition was not true because seat class says economy. That is not the same as first class. Will the second condition be true? Seat class says economy, and that is not the same as business. So that condition is false. Third class, obviously, it's going to be false. Fourth class, what do you think? It's going to be true? Yes. Now that matches, so it calculates the sales tax at 5% of the base cost. Now the sales tax has the value $50. Then it's going to display the rest of the messages over here. And so this is an example that we learned so far, how to use if-elif to solve a problem. And as you know, when you use if-elif, if one of the condition is true, computer executes the body of that condition and then skips all the way to the bottom. It comes outside the if-elif condition. And another thing is that the computer moves to the next condition only if the previous conditions are false. For example, if the computer has reached up to this point, that means all the previous conditions are false. And as usual, you can always use OR here. Seat class equals to, if the user types, let's say, the seat class has either the first class with the uppercase F and seat class has all uppercase. So in this example, the user typed first class, all uppercase. Is this true? Obviously, no, that's going to be false. First class, all uppercase does not match with this one. So this condition is going to be false. How about the second condition? Will this condition be true? Yes. The seat class variable now has first class all uppercase, and you're comparing that first class with all uppercase. So this condition is going to be true. And you know the way the OR works. If one of the condition is true, then the whole thing becomes true. In this case, the second condition is true. As a result, the whole thing becomes true. You see here, now it calculates a sales tax at 28%. And then jumps all the way to the bottom of the code. Okay, that's it in this video. In the next video, we'll talk about nested if-elif. Can we nest one if-elif inside another if-elif? Yes, and we will talk about that in the next video. Thank you for watching.